Hello, Mississippi Conference. This is Bishop James Swanson, bringing you a little bit of an update on the recent disaster caused by the rains and the flooding that occurred on March the 10th and the 11th, and to let you know just really where we are with all of the damages that have occurred, at least a little bit about where we are and what's going on. I know most of you are aware of the homes that have been damaged and businesses that have been damaged and lives really that have been uprooted because of all the damage that is going on. And some of you are asking questions, well, how is our conference responding in the midst of all of this disaster? Well, one thing I want you to do is to be a little patient with us, because when flood waters rise like this, we really cannot do too many things until the flood waters begin to rescind. And so we need you to be a little patient with us, because that's part of what we're waiting on. But while we're waiting, we're preparing. And now this is what you can do. There are two things you can do. Number one, you can start right now in your churches beginning to prepare what we call, some call them flood buckets. And they're really cleaning buckets to help us to clean out those places once they have been flooded and damaged by the rising waters. Now you can go to our Mississippi Conference website, and you can find on that website all of the articles and the pieces you will need to put in those buckets, because we need to begin to collect those buckets so that when we begin to do the work, once the waters have rescinded, we will have the buckets with it we will need in order to do the cleanup and what we also call muck out, and that is to get that place back in order. So that's one thing that you can do to really help us. And the second one is that something all of us can do, and that is to begin to pray for people who have been, whose homes have been damaged by the floods and whose lives have been interrupted because of the flood. And those are things that we can do. We can do the flood buckets, and we can pray so that these families will be comforted in the midst of all of the losses that they've had in their lives. I want you to know that the Mississippi Conference is there. And we have many persons who are going around, what we call our disaster response coordinators, who are assessing that damage to make sure that we act properly and in accordance with the civil authorities that are also involved in this, and we're coordinating all of those efforts. So you be praying with us. You put together those buckets, those flood buckets for us, so that we can use them when the time comes. And then also you can go on that website, and many of you can volunteer to do some muck out when we begin to recruit for those things as well. Can you do that for me? Can you do it for the Lord? And most of all, can you do it because I know it's in your heart to do it? God bless you as we go through this time, and may God be with us all as we respond to this disaster.